In Springs, Texas, following this shooting from the other day, Jim Ryan, sounds like there was some quick thinking on the part of that man and some others right after the gunman left the church. What happened?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, the gunfire was still going off when Stephen Williford's daughter came into his room and said, "Hey, I think I hear shots being fired outside." He went to investigate. He heard the same thing. He went back inside, unlocked his gun case, got his own assault-style rifle, stepped outside. He is a former NRA safety instructor. He knows how to use a gun. So he sees this guy. He sees Devin Kelly standing there with a handgun, and he engages him in a shootout. You know, he apparently struck Kelly at least once or twice. Kelly was wearing a ballistic vest with protection in the front, no plates in the back, though. He did take one or two bullets, as we know now. Yes, and then Stephen Williford then jumped into that pickup truck. They gave chase, 95-mile-an-hour chase that went about 5 miles, and then Devin Kelly wrecked his own SUV. He was found dead at the wheel. Investigators say he likely committed suicide.
Now, did this shootout take place outside of the church?
It did. It did. And in fact, Kelly dropped his rifle inside the church. He shot the place up, emptied clip after clip, dropped his rifle, stepped outside. He had a handgun with him, pulled that out. It was a Glock, or it was the other handgun, the 22 that he had with him. And that's when he got into this gunfight. So, yeah, and he had other weapons in the car, we're told.
Jim Ryan, I've heard conflicting reports that there is video or there is not video of the shooting.
We understand that there is. And it's a horrific thing to even think about. But this is a small church. This is not a big mega church with the professional video production crews. But apparently they did video their sermons and then put them on their website for church members who couldn't make it for whatever reason but still wanted to see the sermon. And we're told that investigators have looked at that video. You can imagine just the devastation that happens there. And yes, apparently there is this video taken by the church of the sermon.
And then finally, the Air Force. What's the clerical error with the Air Force?
Well, Devin Kelly had been convicted as a member of the Air Force of assaulting his wife and her infant son, fracturing his skull. Convicted of that charge, sent to the brig for a year, and then given a bad conduct discharge from the Air Force. But that information about the charges, about the conviction, about the jail time, never made it out to the FBI for some reason. It stayed within the Air Force, and the Air Force is asking the Inspector General of the Pentagon to determine why that happened, and also to look for other cases where people might have fallen through the cracks and might now have armed themselves as well. So this is a wide-ranging investigation that's springing from this case.
Do we know if the shooter bought the gun recently?
He bought it. The rifle that he used was bought in April of last year at a sporting goods store, an Academy Sports and Outdoor in San Antonio. Walked in, filled out paperwork, was able to make the purchase. Believe there's a waiting period there, and came back and picked up the weapon, no problem.
Jim Ryan, ABC News correspondent on the ground in Sutherland Springs, Texas. Jim, thanks for checking in.